I hope it is visible. Breathing and exchange of gases. May I start with it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can anyone tell me what do you understand by the term breathing? Anyone in the classroom?
Ma'am, breathing is simple inhalation and exhalation of gas. It
Anyone
is
else?
differentiated than respiration.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? It's a process in which we take in air from the surrounding and give out. It's very simple. She has given the right answer. Girls, what is this? You should be able to. That is breathing. Now, what is, the phases of respiration? Before I start with the phases of respiration, as I said, the aerobic respiration of the animals, it occurs in two phases. What are those two phases? Number one, breathing or external respiration, as you can see here. And number two is internal respiration. What is this external respiration or the breathing? As you said, that it involves the taking up of oxygen from the medium, that is the surrounding medium, and release of carbon dioxide into the same medium. But could you please tell me here, energy is produced here or not during this breathing or external respiration? Anyone in the class? Is any energy
No,
produced?
ma'am. No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, no energy is produced. Coming on to the internal respiration, which involves the uptaking of the oxygen by tissue cells, then oxidation of the food materials to release the energy, and then releasing the carbon dioxide from the cells into the fluid. Okay, coming on to next is I'm just giving the introduction right now of this particular chapter. Respiratory organs. You know very well that the respiratory organs and the mechanism of the breathing, they depend upon what? They depend upon the habitat in which that particular animal lives. Yes, that particular animal lives. For example, you have learned in ninth class about the, of course, in your this class also in 11, sponges, porifera. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
The poriferans, the coelentrates, okay, the flatworms, they do not have any special organ or any structure. And then how the exchange of gases takes place in them? Can anyone tell me? Do you remember? Sponges, porifera?
Body surface.
Yes, that is by what? What is that is definitely by the body surface. They have pores on them. But what is the method? Starts with D.
Diffusion.
It is
Diffusion.
diffusion. It takes place in them by simple diffusion over the entire surface of the body. Then tell me about earthworm. The exchange of gases takes place through what?
Skin.
Cuticle.
That is, yes, the moist cuticle on their surface, body surface. Then what about those arthropods? They have branched system of tubes and they are called as trachea, or you can say book lungs. Yes, these are the respiratory organs of them. Then what about the mollusks? Mollusks, the aquatic arthropods, hemichordate, cephalochordate, urochordate, vertebrates, fishes, tadpoles, frogs, toads. What do they have? Which respiratory organs they?
Gills.
Gills. Very good. These, they have gills for their respiration. Coming on to the amphibians like frogs, toads, what type of respiration they perform? They perform two types of
Gills
respiration. No,
with
respiration, types of
lungs
respiration.
and gills.
Pulmonary respiration as well as cutaneous respiration.
Okay.
Okay, adult amphibian, not the young one, because that is the tadpole. They are breathing through, respiring through gills. Now I coming on to the human respiratory system. This was just the introduction, which already you are aware of. Now, human respiratory system, it consists of what? Can you see this picture over here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you see? It consists of what? A pair of external nostrils.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see all of you this nostril, my cursor? This is a pair of nostrils. And when I'm telling you about all these parts, you should relate your own respiratory system. Is that clear? अपने आप का देखो, अपने आप का सोचो. It will be more easier to learn than to cram. So a pair of nostrils, you can feel it. Nasal cavity chamber. अंदर का chamber जो है, nasal cavity chamber. Then nasopharynx. In this picture, you can see this nasopharynx. Can you see here? Labeled. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Then your larynx. You can see here, this is the larynx, my cursor. Larynx. Then coming up is the trachea. Can you see here? This is your trachea. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
This is your trachea.
Yes, ma'am.
Then coming on to the bronchi. This is the bronchi. Then the bronchioles. These are the bronchioles. And then is the alveoli. These are the alveoli. Yeah. I repeat. External nostrils, nasal cavity chamber, nasopharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and alveoli. All of you clear? Ishavana?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming on to the external nostrils. Where are they present? External nostrils. These external nostrils, where are they present? They are present just above the upper lip. You feel your own upper lip and your nostril. Just above the upper lip, which leads into the nasal chamber through the nasal passage. This is your passage. Yes, through the nasal chamber into the nasal passage. Then this nasal chamber, they opens into this nasopharynx. Can you see here? This opens into the nasopharynx here. Here it opens. A part of the pharynx that leads into the larynx. ये फिर larynx में जाता है यहाँ पे ऐसे. ठीक है? Through the glottis. Can you see here? Through the glottis. Can you see here? Pharynx into the larynx through the glottis. This is what it is. Okay? Which is covered by the epiglottis during the swallowing of the food or water. Is this much clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming on to the larynx. Now, if you can see this larynx here. Okay. So coming on to this larynx here, if you can see here, the picture is very clear. It is a cartilaginous box-like structure that helps in what production? Sound production. Okay. And this larynx, it leads into the trachea. This is the trachea. Okay. Now, what is this trachea? This trachea is a straight tubular structure. Can you make out? This is a straight tubular structure, and this extends into the neck up to the mid-thoracic cavity. This is the mid-thoracic cavity. And that is the fifth thoracic vertebra into two bronchi. That is the primary bronchi. These are the bronchi. Fifth thoracic vertebra. Okay. And each of these bronchi, you can say, or the bronchus, these, they divide into what? Into a number of then the secondary bronchus, and then of course the tertiary bronchus. Okay, tertiary bronchi. And the tertiary bronchi, they give rise to very small what? What is that? That is what? They give rise to bronchioles.
Bronchioles.
These are small. These are the network. These are the bronchioles, and then into the terminal bronchioles. Okay. So the trachea, this particular, so this trachea, okay, then the primary bronchus, secondary, tertiary, And the initial bronchioles, they are provided with what? Cartilaginous rings. Can you see here? These are the cartilaginous rings. C-shaped. These are the C-shaped cartilaginous rings. And each terminal bronchi or bronchiole, it ends in thin-walled, highly vascularized, sac-like structures. What is that known as?
Alveolar sac.
Alveoli or alveolus. Okay, they are called as alveolus. You can see here, I can show you the picture. Can you see here? These are the
Yes, ma'am.
alveoli or alveolus. Now, you know this lungs is covered, they are covered by a double layered membrane, which is called as pleura. Can you see here the structure? I have showed you a different one. Can you see here double layered structure?
Yes, ma'am.
The lungs, others, can you see? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is the lungs, which is covered by a double layered. These are the double layered membrane, which is called as the pleura. Okay, pleura. And the pleural fluid in between these two layers is present between these two layers of these membranes, these two membranes. Okay. Now the outer membrane of the pleura, it is in the close association with the inner lining of the thoracic cavity. Here, can you see? This is the lungs. This is the thoracic cavity. So it is in close association with the inner lining of the thoracic cavity. While the inner membrane, this is the inner membrane, it is in contact with the lung surface. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And where are they located, these lungs? They are located in this thoracic
Thoracic cavity.
And the part of the respiratory system extending from this particular external nostrils to this terminal bronchi or the bronchiole, you can say, this is known as the conducting part. This is known as the conducting part.
Conducting part.
Yeah, which is conducting this particular process. Whereas the alveoli, the alveoli at the end of it, the alveoli and their ducts, they form the respiratory or the exchange part of the respiratory system. Am I clear? Have you understood the conducting part and the respiratory part?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, all of you? Now coming on to this was all about the respiratory system. Again, what I have taught you in your 10th class. Coming on to the steps in this
গরম চা ডালো মুখে ডালো নিচে পড়ে যাবে পড়ে যাবে পড়ে যাবে গরম চা একটু চুমুক দেবে গলায় যে কাশি হচ্ছে না তোমার হ্যাঁ একটু গরম চা চুমুক দেবে একটু ভালো লাগবে বললো মানে শুনলে থোড়ি আমার কথা অত ডুবিও না অনেক বেশি গরম নিচে পড়ছে তাড়াতাড়ি তাড়াতাড়ি শুনছেই না ছেড়ে দাও ছেড়ে দাও বারোটা আরে একটু গরম চুমুক দাও একটু গরম গলায় লাগাও জোর জবরদস্তি কাশি হয়েছে তারপরে বলছো খারাপ লাগছে
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, my dear. Yes. So we were talking about what? That is the inhalation or inspiration. Okay. Now, all of you, as I told you, breathing involves how many steps? 2 steps.
2 steps.
One is inspiration, the other is expiration.
Exactly.
Okay, this is inspiration, the first one, and the second is expiration or inhalation and exhalation. I'm starting with the first mechanism of inhalation or inspiration. All of you breathe in and breathe out. We are talking about taking in. Okay, so step by step, I'll tell you, you will breathe in and then you will feel that what is happening. Do it. Do it. I should hear the sound. हाँ किया इसमें होता क्या है?
Yes.
Number one, this particular part, that is inspiration, when does it occurs? When this intrapulmonary pressure, this pressure is less than the outside, that is the atmospheric pressure. That means what? The intrapulmonary pressure is negative compared to the atmospheric pressure. ठीक है? अंदर क्या होता है? कम होता है.
Low pressure.
अंदर लो प्रेशर होता है. जब आप अंदर करते हो ऐसे करके, ओके, तो इसमें क्या हो रहा है? The muscles of your diaphragm contracts. Yes or no? And it moves downward towards the abdomen. And thoracic chamber, it increases the volume from front to back. करके देखो. ये देखो, ribs moves up and out. Yes,
Yes,
or no?
ma'am.
हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है? करके देखो.
Yes, ma'am. Forward and down.
Yeah,
Ma'am.
ribs, they are moving up and out. And the thoracic cavity, the volume, it increases. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
And
Yes,
the
ma'am.
diaphragm, it gets contracted.
Yes, ma'am.
Second step is clear. I repeat again, do it, and I'm saying muscles of the diaphragm contracts, moves up downwards towards the abdomen. ये हो गया diaphragm. Volume of chamber, it increases in the anterior posterior axis, that is from front to back. Ribs moves up and down. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, second step. The contraction of the intercostal muscles. Can you see there? The muscles, it is seen in the diagram. Yes. It causes the ribs and the sternum. Which is the sternum? This is the sternum. Look here. ये है sternum. बीच का. ठीक है? So the sternum and the ribs, the intercostal muscles, it causes both the sternum and the rib to move upward and outward. करो फिर से. हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है? Upward and outwards. Is it happening? Ishabana?
Yes, ma'am.
Ishabana?
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am.
It is happening when you are doing it.
Yes.
And this causes an increase in the volume of the thoracic cavity. Sorry, the chamber in the dorsoventral axis. Now, the overall increase in the volume of the thoracic cavity, it causes increase in the pulmonary volume also. And because of that, there is a decrease in the intrapulmonary pressure to means less than that of the atmospheric pressure, and that is the reason why the air rushes into the lungs. I hope I am clear. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
All of you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next is your expiration. This is exhalation, just the opposite. So expiration occurs, karo sab log. Pehle सांस लो and then just release. Now when you are releasing, do it deliberately. Do it like this. What is happening? Have you done it?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you are true to yourself, if not to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it occurs when the intrapulmonary pressure is higher than that of the outer atmospheric pressure. So here what is happening? Just the opposite. The diaphragm muscles, they relax
Yes,
and
ma'am.
causes the diaphragm to move upwards. Now ऐसा हो जाता है, देखो. Dome shape हो जाएगा. That's a relaxation. It becomes dome shape. Then this relaxation of this intercostal muscles, they causes the ribs to move inward. Okay, that is the lateral thoracic wall. Ribs to move inward and downward. Do it and see. And this causes a decrease in the volume of the thoracic cavity. See the volume of this and see the volume of this. है कि नहीं? Yes or no inside? This is the volume. Is it more or not? And in the exhalation, see, it is less. If you want to compare, you can compare here. Yes or no? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We can feel.
Yes. So as a result, the air pressure in the thoracic cavity increases, and so the intrapulmonary pressure increases above the atmospheric pressure. So in this way, we can explain inspiration and expiration, or inhalation and exhalation. I hope I am clear. Yes or no?
Yes,
or
ma'am.
no?
Yes, ma'am.
Next is your respiratory volume, which you have not studied in your previous class. Because this chapter is, it's not a big chapter. It's a very small chapter. And this, what I'm showing you right now, respiratory volume, it comes in the exam definitely. This way or the other way. So first I'm talking about this, this one, the volume of air involved in breathing movements. This can be measured by using a spirometer. What is that known as? One mark question. It is spirometer. S-P-I-R-O-M-E-T-E-R. So the volume of air involved in breathing movements, how are we measuring it? By using a spirometer. Now they are of 4 types: tidal volume, TV, IRV, ERV, and RV. So what are these? First of all, I start with the tidal volume. Now the volume of the air inspired and expired during normal effortless breathing. This is called as tidal volume. I repeat, normal. Okay, that is the volume of air inspired, मतलब जो लेते हैं अंदर and जो छोड़ते हैं, that is expired. Normal during the normal effortless breathing is called tidal volume. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Ma'am, effortless breathing.
हाँ, effortless breathing. मतलब अपन
Yes.
जानबूझ के अपन उसको रिलीज नहीं कर रहे हैं. Normally अपन बात कर रहे हैं, we are releasing, we are inhaling, we are giving out.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
that is known as tidal volume, and it is more or less approximately 500 ml. It measures up to 500 ml. Second, may I proceed on to IRV? Inspiratory reserve volume. What do you mean by this? That is the extra volume of air that can be inspired beyond the normal tidal volume. So, normal tidal volume हम लोग इसको inspire कर रहे हैं, but थोड़ा सा extra volume. So that is said to be as the extra volume of air that can be inspired beyond the normal tidal volume. That is said to be as the IRV. Am I clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And it is about 2500 to 3000 ml. Okay. 2500, 2500 to 3000 ml. Clear? All of you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Next is the expiratory reserve volume, ERV. Now the extra volume of air that can be breathed out, just the opposite, beyond the normal tidal volume. Whatever the normal tidal volume was there, the extra volume of air that can be breathed out, that is expired. Previously it was inspired, so it is IRV. Second is expired, that is ERV. So the extra volume of air that can be breathed out beyond the normal tidal volume is called what?
Expiratory reserve volume.
Yes, expiratory reserve volume, ERV. Its volume is about 1000 ml to 1100 ml. Its volume is about 1000 ml to 1100 ml. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, residual volume. Now the word residual is very clear, RV. That is the volume of air that remains in the lungs even after forceful expiration. जबरदस्ती इसको expire करोगे, then also some amount is left in the lungs. That is said to be as the residual volume. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So the
ma'am.
volume of air that remains in the lungs even after the forceful expiration is called residual volume, and the value averages between 1100 and 1200 ml. ठीक है? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
what are respiratory volumes? Inspired and expired volume of air during the normal effortless breathing, tidal. Now, during inspiring, that is taking in the extra volume of air beyond the normal tidal volume, it is IRV. And extra volume of air which can be expired or breathed out during the normal tidal volume is ERV. And the remaining in the lungs, the air volume which is remaining in the lungs after the forceful expiration is called residual volume. I hope I'm clear. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, coming on to the next, that is the pulmonary capacities or respiratory capacities. Pulmonary capacities or the respiratory capacities. This is the pulmonary, this already I gave you this tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume. Afterwards you can see pulmonary capacities and respiratory capacities. What is it? When two or more of the respiratory volumes are considered together, pulmonary capacities are obtained. So 2 or more respiratory volumes. We have already done 4 respiratory volumes types. Coming on to the first one is IC. What is IC? What is IC? Inspiratory
Inspiratory
capacity. Now this equation is itself is the explanation. How you explain this? The volume of air that can be breathed in, okay, by distending the lungs to a maximum, बहुत जितना हो सकता है, beginning at normal expiratory level, is called as the inspiratory capacity. I repeat, that is when a person, okay, that is the volume, air volume, it can be breathed, he is breathing in by distending the lungs to the fullest, to the maximum, beginning at normal expiratory level. एक starting, expire करने से पहले जो just starting होता है, normal expiratory level, is called as the inspiratory capacity. That is sum total of tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume. This is what it is. TV and ERV. Now I know you must be aware of what is TV and what is ERV. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Except these two girls, Anam and Ishavana, are we having other girls also in the classroom right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So you
Yes,
can't say
ma'am.
yes or no today also. That day I was angry, but today also the case is the same. Next is the functional residual capacity, FRC. What happens when a person inhales and exhales in a normal way? Okay, so the volume of the air that remains in the lungs is known as functional residual capacity. Bacha kucha jo bacha kucha hai. We are inhaling, we are exhaling, but whatever the volume of the air that is left or remains in the lungs, that is known as functional. This one, FRC, functional residual capacity. Understood, all of you? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
What is the
ma'am.
equation? What is the equation? It includes residual volume, RV, and ERV, that is expiratory residual reserve volume. Okay, so FRC is equals to RV plus ERV. Next, expiratory capacity, that is EC. That means the volume of the air that can be breathed out forcefully after a normal inspiration. Normal inspire kiya humne, and then the air which can be breathed out forcefully, that is called as the expiratory capacity. This was inspiratory capacity. Yes or no? And this is the expiratory capacity, EC. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So it includes
Yes,
what? This is the tidal volume and the expiratory reserve volume. Okay. Next coming up is the vital capacity, VC. Okay. This is the vital capacity. Now, when a person inhales with maximum effort, a person inhales with maximum effort and exhales also with maximum effort. So the volume of the air breathed out is called vital capacity. I repeat, when a person inhales with maximum effort, ऐसे किया, and exhales also with maximum effort. Now the volume of the air breathed out is called as vital capacity. Am I clear? VC. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the formula for this? It is the TV. That means what is the TV? That is the tidal volume plus IRV, that is the inspiratory reserve volume, plus ERV, that is the expiratory reserve volume. Okay? So this is said to be as the vital capacity.
Ma'am, they can give the values of TV and ERV and then ask us to uh, take out the inspiratory capacity.
Yeah, but then it is actually not known. Like if I say IRV, it is from 2500 to 3000. So you don't know particular what for we are talking about. So either you can give the first value, that is 2500, or the 3000 one. So for that reason, we can't take it out unless the value is given to you. Okay? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Last is the total lung capacity. Now, total lung capacity is TLC. Now, total lung capacity, what does it refers to? That means the volume of air accommodated in the lungs. Volume of air which is accommodated in the lungs at the end of a forceful inspiration. अपन ने अंदर लिया, तो whatever the volume of air हम accommodate कर सकते हैं lungs के अंदर, that is total lung capacity. The word itself is very much clear. Am I clear to that? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means it is the sum total of, can you see here? It is the sum total of tidal volume, inspiratory respiratory volume, expiratory respiratory volume, and the residual volume. तीनों चीजें एक साथ चारों चीजें होगा ना? So that is said to be as TLC, total lung capacity. Or we can write, I have given you here, what is this? TV plus IRV plus ERV is vital capacity. So, or we can write vital capacity plus residual volume. I hope I am clear.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this was all about the, and my dear girls, it's very important. These two things which you have not studied before, that is respiratory volumes and the pulmonary capacities and respiratory capacities. Okay, next coming up is the alveoli. After this, you remind me, I will tell you about topics. Exchange of gases. Now this diagram is very important. Will come in your exam, definitely this one and this one also. This one. Exchange between the alveolus and capillaries. So, alveoli, you know, they are the primary sites of exchange of respiratory gases. Yes or no? Yes, it's just what we have done in 10th class. And this oxygen and carbon dioxide. Can you see here the blood with, I'm just showing you here, the total explanation is given over here. Okay? Total explanation you can see in this picture. Oxygen and carbon dioxide, they are exchanged by what? Simple diffusion. Yes or no? Here you can see it diffuses by simple diffusion. Okay, based on their pressure or concentration gradient. I hope I am audible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now the thickness of the membranes involved and the solubility of the gases, they are the two major factors, okay, that can affect the rate of diffusion. What is the thickness? Can you see this? Basement membrane, alveolar epithelium, endothelium. Yes, these are the layers. So the thickness of the membranes involved and the solubility of the gases, they are, what are the two major factors which can affect the rate of diffusion? One, thickness of the membranes involved, and second, solubility of the gases. Will you remember this 1 mark question? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now coming up this particular alveoli. Now the diffusion membrane here, okay, it is made up of 3 major layers. What is the first layer? The squamous epithelium of alveoli. Second, the endothelium of the alveolar capillaries. And third, the basement membrane between them. Clear or not? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. The total thickness, you know, of the membrane is about more or less 0.2 nanometer. And the factors which are favorable for diffusion of oxygen into the blood from the alveoli and the diffusion of the carbon dioxide from the blood into the alveoli. So these are the factors which are favorable for diffusion of oxygen into the blood from the alveoli and the diffusion of carbon dioxide from the blood into the alveoli. So I will stop here only today, because if I start the next topic, it is a long topic, so I can teach you tomorrow that. I hope tomorrow